Hey everybody, I have some panel alignment issues on the back of my R1S. I took it to the service center. I think they actually made it worse rather than better. I have an appointment to go fix it again, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a walkthrough on how I was able to figure out how to adjust the tailgate and liftgate on the back of my Rivian R1S. I've already fixed it on the tailgate, but I did have a pretty big gap, especially down here. You can see how you can sort of see underneath the tailgate. I had a pretty big gap. I think at the service center they had taken it and tried to do something. What they were supposed to fix was this over here, which a lot of folks have, and there is a way to fix that too, I'll show you. But I'm not exactly sure what they did. It came back and my wife noticed it first, that there was a big gap underneath here, underneath the tailgate. I've been able to adjust it. I think this is pretty close to normal. It was also really close in here between the top of the lift gate and the back of the, or on the bottom of the tailgate. So in any case, here's what you do. So you can see in here, I've gone ahead and taken off these covers. They're just these covers like this. All they do is they pop on with some clips. You just pull them straight out. Any sort of pry tool will work. I was actually able to take this one off on the left with just my fingers. And then this one on the right, I just had this little O-ring hook tool that I used. I bought a trim removal kit on Amazon, but I'm impatient. So first thing you need to do is take off those covers, and then the next thing you need to do is get in, and you want to get at these bolts down here. Those bolts, I won't take them off, but they have a oval shaped opening on the bracket there that they're attaching to the body of the car that allow you to move these up and down. So you need to loosen all those just enough that it moves pretty freely in there, but not so loose that they're coming out. They're pretty long bolts, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. So loosen all those. And then what I did once I had those loose is I took this dead blow hammer that I have here. Sorry, I'm not a professional YouTuber here. I'm just showing you guys this. And I took this dead blow hammer and just gave it some wax. The dead blow hammer prevents it from damaging any of the, because it's rubberized, damaging any of the paint on there, and that's just enough to get it lowered down. So once I got it sort of lowered down, where you're really making adjustments, that's for sort of big adjustments, but where you're really making adjustments is on each one of these latches. So those latches also have a lot of movement, and when you loosen this screw here, this nut here, and this nut up here, you can move this all around. So what I did is I loosened both of those, and I moved it in the direction I thought I needed. It'll twist, it'll go up and down. I just kept moving it in the same direction, and this one over here, until I got to a point where I had a pretty good panel gap, as good as I was going to get at least, to fix it. So that's how you fix the bottom tailgate. Once you get it to where you want it, just go back in, tighten up all of your screws here, and you should be all set. I'm not quite sure what they do at the service center. My guess is it's somewhat similar to that. I'll move on here to how we do the top of the lift gate. All right, so fixing the top hatch. My top hatch had a little bit of a jut out on this side when it went down. You can see now I've gotten it to a point where it's not perfect. I'm not really sure there is getting to perfect. But this part right here, now the top hatch was sticking out, I'd say at least a eighth of an inch further than it is right now. It was actually okay on the other side. But the way you address that is actually a lot easier than the tailgate. So on the back here, you'll see I don't have a cover right here where one normally goes. That is what this is here. So this cover actually just fits on with clips, and the way that you take it off is you just pry. I was actually able to do it with my fingers. Just pry back towards the back of the car. You pull, and it pops out. You can see where the clips are there in case you really want to look and see how the clips look. Sorry if I'm moving too fast for you. And here's what you do. These 3 bolts here, you loosen those, and then you can move this entire latch mechanism. And that latch mechanism determines how deep and where that door sits at top liftgate. So what I did is I loosened all 3 bolts, and I pushed this back as far as I could. Now you actually, if you start pushing it back too far, this will push out right here. So you do have to watch out for that. I pushed it back as far as I could before I really started putting pressure on this. So that is how you adjust your rear liftgate. I hope that this video saves at least a few of you from needing to go to a 2 or 3 week long service appointment. It took me 3 weeks to the day to get my R1S back from the Madison Heights Service Center before. Shout out to Gordon over there. He was really awesome, but I was sort of, to be honest, a little disappointed with how they ended up doing this back liftgate. He did offer to help me out with it and have me bring it back in, and I do plan to do that. But in the meantime, I just wanted to see if I could get it done myself and have it look a little better. So in any case, thank you everybody, and leave some comments down below if you have any questions, comments, or if you're a Rivian service person and there's a better way to do this, let me know too, because I'm not an expert, just a guy with an R1S trying to make it look a little better.